God says that promotion comes from him, and the way little becomes much is you do with the little that God has given you what you would do with the much that God gives you. In other words, God looks at how faithfully you handle the little bit, and God determines that if you are faithful over the little bit, God decides to touch them folk hard and say, give him a little more. And when you show God that you are faithful over a little more, God will increase. He will increase your territory. I'm trying to get to my last point, but somebody here needs to understand that you don't have to impress folk in the world. You don't have to drive what you can't afford. You don't have to live where you can't afford. I discovered I lost the house. I discovered that everybody will pat you on the back when you move in, but very few people will pay a note when you get in trouble. God says, listen, if you just be faithful, just buy the shack. I know you want a mansion. I know you want a Bentley. I know you want a Mercedes. I know you want to show them how blessed you are. And God says, you're my child. I want you to look good. I want you to have more. I want you to let your light shine. But there is no glory in me with you going up and falling down. You missed that, didn't you? Because you can get it, but if you can't keep it, it's not glorifying God, it's embarrassing God. And too many of us have got steak, dreams, and hamburger pocketbooks. He says, if you would have faith the size of a mustard seed. Now listen, I got to stick this in. I ain't got about 10 more minutes left. Listen, if you'd have faith the size of a mustard seed, your faith ought to begin with God at home. What you talking about? He said, bring ye. He didn't go on to sounding like shepherd. That's my daddy. He said, if you'd have faith the size of a mustard seed, bring your tithe. Give God the 10th. And if you will trust God with 10%, God will increase your 90%. But if God can't trust you with 10%, how do you expect God to trust you with 100% more? Israel was somewhere between Egypt, Moab, and the promised land. God had future plans for them. He wanted to bless them. He heard their cries when they were in bondage. He dealt with Pharaoh. He showed them his good. They complained and they grumbled so much. I believe God got tired of hearing them. God slayed Pharaoh and all of his army. Let the children of Israel go across the Red Sea on dry land. The Bible says there was a fire that led them by night, pillar of a cloud that led them by day. But still they had problems following the voice of the Lord.